Page 1, The Mischievous Boy. Once there was a mischievous boy named Peter who lived in a small village on the edge of a dense forest. Peter enjoyed playing practical jokes on his friends and neighbors, and he was always looking for new ways to entertain himself. Page 2, The Idea. One day, while walking through the forest, Peter had an idea for a new prank. He would pretend to be a wolf and scare his neighbors. He chuckled to himself as he imagined their reactions. He could hardly wait to try it out. Page 3, The First Cry. The next day, Peter put his plan into action. He ran through the village, shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! Help me! There's a wolf!" His neighbors, concerned for his safety, ran to his aid. But when they arrived, they saw no wolf. Just Peter laughing and rolling on the ground. The neighbors were annoyed with Peter's prank, but they let it go, thinking it was just a one-time thing. Page 4, The Second Cry. The following day, Peter did it again. He ran through the village, shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! Help!" His neighbors came running once more, but when they arrived, they saw no wolf. They were starting to get annoyed with Peter's pranks. Page 5, The Third Cry. On the third day, Peter did it again. He ran through the village, shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! Help!" This time, his neighbors were angry. They scolded him for his foolishness and warned him that if he did it again, they wouldn't come to his aid. Peter realized that his neighbors were serious, but he couldn't resist the temptation to keep playing the prank. Page 6, The Fourth Cry. A few days later, Peter did it again. He ran through the village, shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! Help!" But this time, nobody came to his aid. His neighbors had had enough of his prank and decided to teach him a lesson. Peter was left alone, feeling foolish and embarrassed. Page 7, The Wolf's Arrival. A few weeks later, a real wolf appeared in the village. Peter saw it and tried to warn his neighbors, but they didn't believe him. They thought he was just playing another prank. The wolf attacked some of the villagers' livestock. And everyone realized too late that Peter had been telling the truth. The villagers were angry with Peter for lying to them and causing harm to their animals. Page 8, The Consequence. The villagers refused to speak to Peter or even look at him. Peter felt terrible for what he had done and wished he could take it all back. He realized that his pranks had gone too far and caused harm to the village, and he couldn't bear the thought of losing his friends. Page 9, The Apology. Peter decided to apologize to everyone in the village. He went from house to house, asking for forgiveness and promising never to play pranks like that again. Some villagers forgave him, but others remained angry and refused to speak to him. Peter felt terrible. But he knew he had to accept the consequences of his actions. Page 10, The New Idea. A few weeks later, Peter was walking through the forest when he saw a group of children playing a game. They were pretending to be knights, slaying dragons and rescuing princesses. Peter watched them for a while and then had an idea. He would organize a play in the village, a story about a brave knight who saves a princess from a dragon. It would be a way to make up for his past mistakes and show the villagers that he had changed. Page 11, The Preparation. Peter spent the next few weeks planning the play. He recruited some of the other children in the village to help him, and they worked hard to create costumes and props. Peter was determined to make the play a success and win back the respect of his neighbors. Page 12, The Rehearsal. The day of the play arrived, and Peter and his friends were nervous but excited. They rehearsed their lines and practiced their roles, determined to give the best performance they could. Peter felt a sense of pride as he looked at the other children. All dressed as knights and princesses, ready to take on the dragon. Page 13, The Performance. The villagers gathered in the village square to watch the play. Peter and his friends gave a wonderful performance, full of bravery, romance, and adventure. Everyone was impressed by the effort they had put into it. And the villagers laughed and cheered as the brave knight slayed the dragon and rescued the princess. Page 14, The Redemption. After the play, Peter approached the villagers and apologized once more for his pranks. He explained that he had learned his lesson and wanted to make things right. The villagers could see the sincerity in his eyes and forgave him. Peter felt a sense of relief and redemption, knowing that he had earned back their trust. Page 15, The Lesson. From that day on, Peter was no longer the mischievous boy who cried like a wolf. He had learned his lesson and had become a responsible and trustworthy member of the community. He had discovered that the best way to gain respect was through honesty, hard work, and kindness. And although he never forgot his past mistakes, he was proud of the person he had become.